we will do motion under gravity. So an object falling under gravity is called freely falling object. We are also called freely falling object. Freely falling object. So freely falling object means what? Falling under gravity. Under gravity. We can have various kind of freely falling objects. One can be the object dropped, or one can be thrown upward, and another can be thrown downward. So these three different cases we can consider for freely falling objects. So if an object is dropped, the initial velocity is taken 0 and the acceleration is g, and the equation of motion which we will write, suppose we take downward as positive, it is completely upon us that what direction we are taking. Upward we can take as positive or downward we can take as positive, means it is completely up to us. Whatever we want, we can write the equations accordingly. Suppose for dropped object initial velocity is u, and suppose we take downward as positive, because that will be comfortable to write, that's why we are taking downward. So we are taking downward as positive. So what we will write is s equal to, u is 0, so we will write s equal to only half at square, and since g is in downward direction, since we are taking downward positive, so g is in downward direction, so g, the acceleration will also be taken plus g, so we can write half gt square. So the distance traveled h, or distance, the height descended actually, because it is going down, height descended will be equal to half gt square. So downward direction is taken positive, so acceleration will also be taken as plus. In that case, this h is what? This h is in downward direction. H is height descended, not height ascended. Height descended. Okay. Second is we can take thrown upward. So if an object is thrown upward, suppose initial velocity is u, and for ease of calculation we can take upward as positive. Upward positive. So if you take upward positive and upward object is thrown upward, we will write u positive, and since g is acting what? Downward, so acceleration will be minus g now. We have taken upward direction as positive and acceleration is what? In lower direction, downward direction. So we will write minus g, and the height in this case, some height is will be taken as upward is positive, so we can write ut minus half gt square we can write. And in this case, since we are taking upward as positive, the h calculated will be what? Height ascended. Actually, whether it is height ascended or height descended, these are depending upon what direction we are assuming. We could write the same thing considering the downward positive also. See how the equation will modify. I am just changing it. If we use this for the same equation, if we use suppose downward positive, how the equation will modify? The u will become negative because object is thrown up. The u will become negative, so minus u and t, and g will become positive. Acceleration will become positive because acceleration is downward. So half gt square, and height, whatever height we will get, that will be height descended this time because we are considering downward. So if you take the same h, we should write this as minus because this h was what? The h was taken in upward direction, and since we are considering downward, so finally we are taking h equal to ut minus half gt square. Similarly, if an object is thrown down, in that case the u will be negative. U will be negative or positive. First we need to consider the direction. Suppose we take upward as positive, upward positive, suppose we take upward direction as positive direction, then u will be negative because u is down, and the h we can write as minus ut minus half gt square. So all the things actually depend upon on what direction we are going to in what direction we are going to take as positive. So I am giving you an example, then it will be more clear. Suppose I am taking an object dropped. Find height descended. Find descended at t equal to 2 seconds. So what we are going to do is we consider suppose downward as positive, then all the things that s equal to ut plus half at square, which we write, this equation will modify as the s we are going to find, u will be 0 and g, how much will be g? So we are taking downward as positive, so g will be taken as, sorry, we should write a here. So what will be a? A will be as plus g, so it will be g by 2t square. What I am doing is, since I have taken downward as positive and g is also in same direction along downward, so acceleration will be what? Plus g. So what we are getting is 10 by 2, g can be taken as 10 and time as 2 seconds, so it will be 20 meters. So the height descended will be how much? 20 meter. Why it is descended? Because g is acting downward and we are writing all the equation in downward direction. The positive direction is taken towards lower side, downside. So the s which we have got, that is 20 meter plus. 20 meter plus means what? Downside. We have taken downside. So 20 meter descent. The same equation if we could write in opposite direction. Suppose if we take upward as positive, what we are going to do is, if you take upward as positive, we will write s, u is 0, so it is not going to affect, and this time the acceleration will be taken as minus g t square. So how much we are getting? 10 into 2 square, so we are getting minus 20. So what we are getting is minus 20. So the height is minus 20. So what does it mean? Height is minus 20 means the object is finally coming down. So again we are getting what? Descent we are getting. Minus 20 meter upward means what? 20 meter downward. So minus 20 meter up means 20 meter down. So again we are getting the same thing. We are getting 20 meter descent. The same we can take one more example. It will be more clear. Suppose I have an object thrown at speed 10 meter per second, an object thrown upward, object thrown up at speed 20 meter per second. Find height at 3 seconds. So how do we write equation? We will write with both the convention. First we write taken up as positive. Up positive. So if we write upward positive, the s is ut plus half at square. The equation will be written as u. U will be what? 20 plus, because it is thrown up. So u is plus. Upward we have taken positive, so u will be taken positive. Time is 3 half and acceleration will be minus g. Why minus g? Because acceleration is down. Acceleration always acts down. Whether you throw object up or down, acceleration always acts down. So 60 and half 10 3 square. So how much we are getting? 5. So we are getting 15 meters. So 15 meter upward. So this we are getting with the convention when upward is taken as positive. The same can be calculated if we take down as positive. Down positive if we take. So S equal to, we will write ut plus half 80 square, and at place of S what we will write is, at place of S we are going to write at place of suppose u, since u is up, object is coming down, the direction is taken down and object is going up, so u will be taken minus 20 into 3, and a will be plus. Why? Because we have taken downward direction and g is also downward. G is what? G is downward, so g is plus. So g is plus 10 and t square, so that is how much? 3 square. So we are getting how much? If we solve it, we are getting minus 15. So what does it mean minus 15? Minus 15 means 15 meter. See, downward is minus 15. So minus 15 down means how much? Is it 15 meter up? Minus 15 meter in downward direction means what? 15 meter upward direction. So finally again we are getting the same thing. So whatever convention you choose, if you take for all the quantities, if you take the same convention, you are going to get same answer.